We are here. Today I'm welcoming Miss Erica Clark of Quad Protects. Hey, Erica. Can y'all hear me?
Hey,
Can you ladies
good
hear me?
evening.
All right, come on. Hey,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and then our special guest today is Miss Kimberly Thomas of Kimco International. What's up, Kim?
Good evening. Good
So I had to
Hey,
clap for
evening.
Kim.
Kim.
That's my clap for Kim.
Hi.
So how you doing?
Okay. How's
Can you?
everybody on this snowy day?
Oh,
Ooh,
we doing
doing
great. We doing great. How you
okay.
guys doing?
Good. Well, I just
That's
I just
great.
wanted to go into quick before we get into Kim. I wanted to Miss Kimberly. I just wanted to tell everyone how we met.
Come on.
Um, just a quick story. What was that? Almost 20 years ago?
It was.
I think so. We had a club. Now you know how long ago when they was having we had a book club. So we was inviting financial advisors to come in to talk to a group of black. We all started out in our careers just to talk about our finances. So I believe it was Miss Kimberly and it was another person. I believe it was another guy that came in at the same time. So we had each one of them talk, explain who they were. When we got through, everyone picked Miss Kimberly because she broke everything down. She was talking to us like we was like friends, like everybody was friends. She wasn't talking over our heads. She gave us the information that we needed. And I think the other guy, I don't know what he was talking about, but it wasn't some foreign he was talking about. She made everything so easy for us. My first insurance policy, I got 2 insurance policies with Miss Kimberly at that time and the IRA. So we just as we go through tonight, we're going to talk about everything, and she's going to let everybody know what she's up to now. Because I know that was 20 years ago. Things change. So we're going to talk about what she's doing now, what she can help with, and how we're going to be talking about real estate. So my first question to you, Miss Kimberly, let's talk about the landlord and how the landlords can protect themselves with their properties.
I First of all, I cannot believe that was 20 years ago. I mean, I
I think it
still
was more
feel
than 20 years.
25.
We was
No,
two,
I
we said
mean, and somebody told me I look 37, so
you
I'm gonna
do.
run
You
with
still
that.
look the same. You still look the same.
27, 27, 27.
And so with the both of you, I hope you feeling 27 tonight.
Yeah,
Feel it.
we feeling good.
I feel it until I have to move around.
Oh, you been shoveling that snow. So
Yes,
that'll
Right.
really make you feel young or old.
yes.
But you were asking about the landlord. So
Landlord protection.
landlords can protect themselves in a couple of ways. So they can do it in the legal aspect where they can put their properties in series LLCs. But as far as the insurance way that they can protect themselves, especially COVID has shown us a couple different things. Life insurance can protect you and your asset. And you're like, okay, what does that mean? Do I have to pass away for my
Mhm.
beneficiaries to receive the proceeds of life insurance? Not necessarily. So there are some policies through various companies where if you become critically ill, critically injured, chronically ill, chronically injured, or terminally ill, it will pay out without you passing away. It will pay out proceeds tax free. You could receive it systematically or you could receive it in a lump sum. And that can help you make sure that your properties are taken care of. So, like, say for instance, if you, God forbid, had COVID and you had to go to the hospital and you just are really trying to get yourself together because it really takes a toll on you. So,
Mhm.
that could possibly trigger a chronic illness or critical illness. And if that took place, depending on what the situation is, the underwriters will look at your situation to determine how much money you will receive. And I've had clients receive thousands of dollars to make sure that they can still pay their mortgage, pay their rent, make sure the upkeep on their properties are taken care of, put food on the table, pay car notes. So it's very helpful. So that's a serious layer of protection that landlords can use because right now we have to keep an open mind to other other things that are available to us and not necessarily go with just what we're familiar with, and do some research to find out what's out there, what's available.
Is that program still available? I know they're saying we coming out of COVID now, since we go into 2022. Are those things for help for landlords, are they still in place? Do it seem like something that would stay for a while, or our landlords are on their own right now? Because I don't know how the market is with the landlords.
Yeah. So fortunately, some companies do still have these types of products available. So landlords are not on their own. They can still get them. But time is of the essence. Start asking some questions, start making some calls, start getting your research in, because like business owners previous to COVID had the business interruption insurance. And then they found that that business interruption insurance did not cover COVID.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and
That's
so
yeah.
they weren't able to secure their properties, pay their employees, pay their taxes, because COVID was kind of unheard of, and so it wasn't written in the policy. But see, in other life insurance policies, COVID triggers different events. COVID can trigger a stroke, God forbid, but it can trigger a heart attack. It can trigger a chronic illness. And so that's why I'm saying let's make some phone calls, talk to some folks, do some research, because you can get policies that have that available, and then you can use those funds to do whatever you choose.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So I know we jumped the gun. We really want all this information that you have. I know I introduced you, Kimberly Thomas, Kimco International. So before we go dive deep into it, give us a little history about who you are, about the company, and the products and services that you offer. Because I know investors gonna need your services, especially dealing with real estate and some of their properties.
So I've been a financial advisor since 1998. I love what I do, and I met Erica Clark probably in '99 or something like that.
I think so.
It was early in my career. And her sister Renita, I mean, just good people. So my mom is a financial advisor. She just recently retired last year. She tricked me into this business, but it was the
All
best trick.
right.
It was the best
Best
trick.
trick in the world. Right.
And so she managed approximately 100 million under management. And so she kind of cultivated me and brought me in, put me under her wing. And so I started my career at Waddell and Reed on 95th, right in the Evergreen Plaza. Y'all familiar with the plaza?
What was Daryl last name?
Daryl
Yeah,
Lewis.
Daryl Lewis. Daryl Lewis.
Oh,
Daryl Lewis. Daryl Lewis.
My
Yes.
world.
Yes. Yeah.
When I was 19, I used to work for Daryl Lewis.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
So
Daryl Lewis.
you
My
know,
guy.
when people were teenagers, they had those jobs working at McDonald's, and I wanted to make me some fries. I wanted
Right.
to.
You
But
was
they would
you was
not
getting less.
hire me. They would not hire me. And I put in an application at 4, 5 different McDonald's. They would not hire me. So my mom was saying, well, maybe that's a sign. Why don't you come over to this office and file some papers? Why don't you make some phone calls? And why don't you do these things?
Right.
And so since I was working for her, Daryl said, you know what, Kim, you could work for me part-time. So, and that's how
Yeah.
it started.
Yeah.
And that's great because me and Erica are always talking about um, generational wealth or installing things in our kids. It's a great story to hear that your mom, even though you wanted to go to Mickey D's, or I ain't gonna say the name, somebody's frying fries, but your mom guided you to a career that you was
Right.
able to nurture and make shine, and that's gonna benefit our audience, and that's a great thing. Daryl Lewis was a great guy, so is a great guy. Somebody introduced him to me to start trying to invest my money. And I was young then, so I was young and dumb. I had a small inkling of what I needed to do, but he definitely was a great guy. So I know you coming from great stock. I know you coming
Oh,
from great stock.
oh yeah, that's my guy. I really love Daryl and his wife Celeste and his children. Just good people. And at Waddell and Reed, we were just, one big family.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
in
Mm-hmm.
2011, I ended up transitioning and going to Sanmar Financial Network and working with my business mentor, Dr. Roger Salter. And so he has been a financial advisor since 1961.
Okay.
Wow.
So, and he is 83 years old. He loves what he does, and he still comes to work 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yes,
Dedication.
yes.
That's good. Okay.
So, so yeah, I've partnered with Sanmar Financial Network, and I have my company Kimco International, and so they're my mentor, and I work right along with them.
Okay. Okay. So I know, Byrd, you probably have some real estate questions. I know we was gonna try to talk about flippers and how they can save their money. What should they do when they're trying to start to go into investing, flipping
Well,
houses? How should they start out?
oh, you want me to jump on it? So,
Yeah.
a question for me for
Of
well,
course, we work with you too.
one of the questions that I had pretty much was how to protect each
Mm-hmm.
property through LLC or corporation or a C corp. How do I go about protecting each? If I'm a new beginner, as far as investing, rehab, or if I'm gonna do a buy and hold, how do I protect each unit?
Well, with working with me with Sanmar Financial Network, we have a team of subject matter experts that work with us. So I'm the financial advisor, and my sweet spot is insurance and annuities. Then we have mortgage specialists, we have real estate attorneys, we have realtors. So we have subject matter experts that we work hand in hand where we help solve each individual's problem because nobody has the same problem. Real estate, financial planning, life is not cookie cutter. So
Right.
with working with us, we have a team of people that can kind of uncover how best we can be of service to you. And so for clients that have a situation where they have multiple properties, then if it is a situation like what Erica and I were just addressing, where people can have their series LLCs, properties in various LLCs, and then that way it protects them. Or either if they just have one or two properties, and then they can do a land trust or either a living trust, that can also help them as well. So with protecting them from any creditors or any type of situation where someone tries to sue them. So we have different real estate attorneys that can assist with that, and that's definitely their lane. That's their lane.
Okay.
Now with me, I fill in the blanks because we have people that can help with different property and casualty coverage. So, like if you do get the LLC or a land trust or a living trust or S corp or a C corp, and you put your property in one of those entities to protect yourself and pull it out of your name, then from there, I can assist with the property and casualty insurance, or
Mm-hmm.
either if you're trying to protect yourself, if you have any type of um, injury or illness, or either God forbid you pass away, then we have to make sure that we have various other coverage in place, like life insurance that have living benefits, or
Mm-hmm.
either some type of umbrella coverage, or either some type of disability coverage that will cover you to make sure that your mortgage is still paid, and then also to make sure that your property is kept up, because we want to keep those tenants happy, don't we?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
We need them
So
happy.
right. So when they're so say if an investor has like $100,000 and they want to get into the properties, is there somewhere that they can invest their money in first? Try to save a nice little egg if they want to do like a 10 property unit or some type of 20 property unit. Is there any type of investment program so they can get into, put their money in, maybe to invest some of it first, and then I don't know if they pull the money out and then they can buy the building? Is there programs like that?
Oh my goodness, Erica, that's a great question. There are definitely various accounts that people can utilize when they're trying to purchase their home, their first home, or either a second home or investment property. And they could use a money market mutual fund or
Yeah.
either a government securities mutual fund. And those two are usually recommended because, like, say for instance, if you can envision building your financial house.
Right, right.
Right.
So if you're building your financial house, then on the door of your financial house, you have to have an account that you can go in and out
Mhm.
of at will, where there isn't any stipulations, there aren't any
Mhm.
hoops or hurdles that you have to jump through. You don't have to pay any penalties or taxation to get to your funds. And so money market mutual funds or either government security mutual funds, those are the type of accounts that a person would want to hold their money.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because when you're trying to make a decision, if you're going to purchase a home for the first time or either purchase a second home or investment property, you want to just have a holding tank. And that way you can access it either by wire transfer, you
Yeah.
could write a check, or either you can just move money from various accounts
Mhm.
at your bank because there's a lot of banks that have money markets now.
Yeah. So
So
I'm real good with the planning. I'm always telling people to plan, not just to try to jump in to try to get, I mean, it takes money to make money. And I think if people will try to find ways to hold money and then invest it, and instead of holding it into a bank, like a checking account, you want your money to work for you so you can have a lot more money to invest. So I think a lot of people need to find avenues to either put money in and then try to think about what they want instead of just saying, okay, because I will want to build in one day. Okay, so I need some type of funding. What should I do first? I don't want to just take my money out of my bank account. I want to invest some money and then eventually go buy the property. So I just think that's important.
I totally agree with you. And if you have any readers on this line right now,
Mhm.
then I would recommend a book called Profit First.
Mhm.
Profit First is written Profit First. And so, like, some people are already real estate investors.
Mhm.
Right.
So if you or either if you're just in business for yourself already, you want to take some of your profit and you want to put it into something else.
Mhm.
And so if that's the case, then you could utilize an interest-bearing account, or either you can have a money market or either a government securities mutual fund that will allow you to have access to the funds. And those are interest-sensitive, interest-bearing mutual funds as well. You won't get rich. You won't
Right.
get rich
Right.
with the
Right.
money.
All right.
No, you will not. Trust and believe. You will not. But it's just
Mhm.
that it has a higher yield that it's paying
Yeah.
out than a checking account, than a savings account,
Havens.
and
Yeah.
then a lot of people are old school these days and they just put money in their safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm trying
no,
to get them out of that mindset.
oh man,
If you
girl.
can gain some type of interest, that's the best thing you can do.
So
Yeah,
I
that really is the best thing you can do because it's been proven that compounded interest is the
Mhm.
eighth wonder of the world. It's
Okay.
the eighth,
Okay.
it's the eighth wonder of the
okay.
world. So like when I sit with my clients, I go through all of their financial
Mhm.
affairs. And so a lot of my clients, they want to be millionaires. So I show them what simple interest will do. I'll show them
Mhm.
what compounded interest will do, and I'll show them what no interest does as
Right.
well.
Exactly. Okay.
So you mentioned compound interest. What is that related to, like an IUL? What is an IUL?
Oh, okay. So an index universal life policy is what an IUL stands for.
Right.
So an index universal life policy does use compounded interest. It does. So there's different index universal life policies that can yield you 5%, 6%. We even have some that have interest rates such as 10 and 11%. So what I love about the index universal life is some of them are invested in indexes that we hear about every day, the S&P 500.
Right.
So, and I talk about the S&P 500 with my clients all the time because they're like, well,
That's
what?
come with the paperwork.
Girl, you pay.
Come
So,
on, finish the paperwork.
so people talk about the S&P like, well, what is the S&P? The S&P it stands for Standard and Poor's, and it's called the S&P 500 because it's the top 500 companies
Mm-hmm.
that fuel America. So when you think about America, you think about Campbell's soup.
Right.
And Campbell's soup will be wonderful today because it's 2 degrees.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
You know, another company that's in the S&P is Expedia.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And I know I would love to get on Expedia right now and find a flight to Miami.
Right. Exactly. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, Florida, mine somewhere.
Well, I know I wanted
So
to talk. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Kim. Finish.
so the S&P it generates a lot of compounded interest for you in your IUL. And the beautiful thing about it is with being in an IUL, the value of it will never decrease unless you withdraw the money.
Okay. I think I've had one. Okay.
So is there a minimum to go on? I'm sorry, Eric. Is there a
No.
minimum to go on IUL to start off a
No,
policy?
there isn't a minimal because what we do is we find out what your short and your long-term goals are, and we
Okay.
solve for what it is that you would like to achieve.
Okay.
So I have some clients that use the Index Universal Life for college planning. I
Okay.
have some clients that use it for purchasing a property.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mentor, Dr. Roger Salter, he purchased the loft that we have our office back in the early 2000s. He took $150,000 out of his Index Universal Life policy, and then he took $100,000 out of the bank, made up that 200,000, and bought that loft for 200,000, 250,000, and now it's valued, ooh, well
Well,
over. Yeah, it's
I
in the
know we
west.
talked about it. It came over like at least over a million because it was
Yeah,
down in what is it at? I can't think of
it's
the
on
round
Washington
handle.
Avenue.
Yeah, Fulton
Wow.
Market, Fulton Market, Fulton Market.
Yep. See,
Yeah.
that takes. So I want to go into now, which is my favorite part, retirement. Hopefully I get there soon, but I don't know. It's not looking good. I think I got another. I'm not even gonna say. But I want to talk about retirement and what people should do as far as if they have assets, how can they put that? Do they put that into a life insurance? How is that covered for them? So if they pass, maybe something to pay that building off or pass it on to their loved ones. So is there ways that because I know I have insurance policy that I got through you. So if something happens to me, I have it to cover my house. So that means whoever takes over my house, which Lord, I think it's my niece, this would be hers. So that was long before my daughter. So I ain't going to tell her that because she thinks it's her house. But I think my niece is my beneficiary for that one. So is there something? Is that still in existence? People can still do that. Is that the best way to pass on assets through a life insurance policy, or how should they handle that? If they have any questions about that.
First of all, Erica, I want to applaud you. I promise you I do, because you had the foresight to get
Yeah.
life insurance for your property
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago.
Right. I've been in this 20 years. 20 years.
20
I had
years ago.
20 years.
And so if you look outside, you see so many abandoned buildings, just abandoned homes where people just left them, walked away. Why do you think they walked away, Erica?
I don't know. I don't know if they was upside down or when the market crashed. What was that? 2007, 17 or something?
2006, between 2006 to
Yeah.
'08.
So I mean, I know a lot of people I know who left their houses because they was upside down and they didn't think, no one thought the market was gonna shoot back up,
I would say they
or
left. I would say they left because of that. Maybe lack of, they didn't have the ability to maintenance or maintain
yeah.
the property. Or
That's
maybe
what I was getting. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
They didn't have the financial footing to maintain the property.
right.
So Erica is one of the very few Americans that even had the foresight 20 years ago to even think of, if she passed away, she wants to make sure that her niece has the financial assets to be able to maintain the property. If the mortgage is not paid off, then she can use that life insurance
Right.
policy to pay the mortgage off. Or
Right.
either if she wants to use it as rental income, she can use it to upkeep it, fix it up,
Right.
pay the lights, pay the gas, pay the taxes, and then
Generate
get
income.
a tenant
Right.
in order to generate some income. So,
Mm-hmm.
so to have a life insurance policy that's available to do that is amazing, because we wouldn't see all these abandoned houses and
Yeah.
three flats that we drive past if people had money.
Yep. That's the
If
number
they
one
had,
reason.
So that
um,
particular, I'm sorry, that particular policy that Erica picked up. So I know it pays out, it's going to either pay the mortgage or go pay the beneficiary. But over the time, Erica, like you said, she had the vision 20 years ago. Does that policy builds up any kind of equity or any kind of cash value as well?
Yeah.
Other than covering.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does.
And so like if Erica switches gears, like say for instance, she said, you know what, I don't want to use that policy specifically for the house anymore because she's paid her mortgage down. She's been in her house for a number of years. She's paid her mortgage down and it's kind of manageable. Maybe she has other assets that she can utilize if she got, if she passed away, her niece will be able to manage. She can then switch gears, use that policy for retirement income.
Yeah. And that's what we're gonna look into later on. That I'm working with Kim now to get my IRA, my accounts, retirement accounts. So that's the next thing we need to talk about, is what people should do now when they're retiring. Now our age, people are retiring either now or the next 10 to 15 years. And most people have a 401k that match, but some jobs don't. So should they go? I think it's a very good idea if everyone get an IRA account on top of having a 401k. I got money in 10 different buckets.
Right.
Sometimes I think I be doing too much, but I think if someone have a 401k, I think everyone should at least have an IRA account. So can you talk about a traditional IRA account or Roth IRA account and what they should do if they're starting like right now, like at 50?
Oh yeah. And I'll be 50 December 19th. So I am looking forward to I say hello 50.
And hello 50, right.
So those different buckets that you mentioned, if you can envision them as legs on your financial stool. So you have 10 different legs that's holding up your financial stool. That means that your financial stool that Erica is sitting on is sturdy. It's sturdy. Some people only have that one leg, that
Yes.
401k,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
that holds up their financial stool. It's not that sturdy because I think
Right.
I would rather have 10 legs than one. So when you talk about retirement, you
Mm-hmm.
need to look at how best you can create different legs because your legs gonna
Right.
be in Tahiti and Fiji and the Bahamas
Exactly.
and Cancun and San Tropez. We
Yes.
gonna carry our legs
Yes.
over there and do the stanky leg. I'm doing a stanky leg.
Right.
We're gonna
Right.
be
I want to retire nice. I don't want to be worried about nothing. I want to retire nice, and I think it's time. Mm-hmm.
and when we doing the stanky leg over across the pond, so to speak, then we want our various financial legs to be
Mm-hmm.
going to work. And then
Yep.
they go to work Monday through Friday at 8 to 5. They go to work when the market turns on. They go to work. So the 401k is one leg, the traditional IRA is another leg, the Roth IRA is another leg. Real estate is another leg. A business is one leg. And then also you can have your life insurance to give you tax-free
Right.
retirement income as a leg.
Yep.
So yeah, we want multiple legs to hold up our financial stool. So when you sit on it, it's sturdy. Oh, and I forgot one last leg, Social Security, because it will
What's the
be
what?
there. Social Security, it
Yeah,
will
but
be
I
there.
definitely don't want to bank on Social Security. Yeah, I'm like that's
Yeah,
the
we
one
we
that
not
and
gonna.
that's the one I'm scared of. That's the one I'm scared of. So I got to make sure my ducks is in a row. In addition to that Social Security.
Oh
So
yeah, that's Social Security. All of our listeners this evening should go to www.ssa.gov and
mhm.
create their Social Security profile to
Yep.
see what their benefits are looking like, so they'll know exactly what that Social Security leg is looking like, and then they can go to their website for their 401k to see what their 401k leg is
Yeah.
looking like, and then they
That's a
can.
good idea.
Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna have my clients and do that. So we're gonna close in a second. So we just want to get to what else that we need to talk about. Oh, you have one more question?
Yeah.
We have a
So
question. Come
so
on.
you talked about the Roth IRA, traditional IRA, and 401k. Is it possible for me as a business owner or entrepreneur, maybe my company doesn't have a 401k? Is it possible for me to create my own 401k? And if
Oh,
so,
totally,
That's
totally.
up Kim Alley. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. You you
Mhm.
can have a 401k for yourself. It'll be called a simple 401k. Just be you, or either if you have one employee, it could be just you all. Or either I have small businesses that set up a self-employment pension plan called an SEP, which is something that is around that like a 401k, where they can set that up, or either they can have a Roth IRA or either a Roth IRA lookalike. Now, I'm a Roth IRA girl or a Roth IRA lookalike girl all day long. That's me. Now, the reason why I like Roth IRAs is because all money that goes into a Roth IRA is already taxed. So I don't have to worry about giving the government my money. I don't have
Mhm.
to worry about that. It already got taxed. So it's post-tax money that's
Yep.
going into the account. It's post-tax money that's invested and it's moving and shaking and it's moving and shaking. We
Yep.
just recently saw in the last
Yep.
month, um, who was that? The gentleman who has was it Netflix? I can't think of his name right now. but he started a Roth IRA with a small amount of money, and then now it's worth like $2 billion. So
God.
they're upset about that Roth IRA because when he pulls all money out
Okay.
of that Roth
Oh
IRA,
yeah, it's tax
all the
free, isn't
money
it?
is
Yeah.
free. It's tax free because he held it for over
Yeah,
five
it
years, and
is.
when you hold it for over 5 years,
Oh
then
wow.
it's tax free. And if you over 59 and a half and you hold it for
Okay.
over 5 years, you can access that money without any taxes. So just imagine
Right.
the Roth IRA.
Utilities. Right.
Man, so that's why I love Roth IRAs. And so
Okay.
for business owners who are just trying to make sure that they have one of their legs
Right.
on
Okay.
their financial tool, I would recommend that leg be a Roth IRA.
Okay. That's
I
that's
think it's
that's
awesome.
very good. So Byrd, you have any more questions before we go into Kim and give her credentials and give her website and how everyone can get in contact with her? We want to
No,
make sure
I
everyone
want
who has questions can come and ask Kim.
yeah. I talk a lot, so no, I don't have questions, but I do see the relatability far as if I'm an investor or a future
Yeah.
investor, how I could come to you and pretty much any of my clients that once they pick up their properties, I'm gonna direct them to you so they can
Yeah.
structure and learn how to either continue to build assets or expand the assets that they have and create their own wealth and learn how to financially put things to put things in order. So no,
And I appreciate that because I love working with business owners because
Mhm.
that is my mission. I work with business owners to make sure that they are covered if they have partners, to make sure they have their buy-sell agreements because sometimes partnerships don't work out, you
Yeah.
exactly.
know, or either it could be something where they need their business valued. So we got to look at valuation. Maybe it could be they need funding. So, I love working with real estate investors, real estate owners, business owners, just business owners, period, because we need to make sure that your business goes past just that one generation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Okay,
But
Kim, let us know when it who can where they can reach you.
Oh man, Erica, they can go to my website all day long. www.kimcointernational.com. Kimcointernational.com is where you can find me.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask any question if we didn't cover it tonight. You can
Yep.
just go ahead and type that in. Or either if you want to download some information, I have all kinds of different books and articles that you can download from the website. Or if you want to just book an appointment and schedule some time with me, you can do that on the website as well.
Okay. All right.
well, I think you drop some every
Yeah.
week. We have awesome guests, and I
Yeah.
believe tonight you definitely you pretty much hit everything on the head on how they could strategically put things in order, as far as to cover their assets, cover their
Mm-hmm.
future with their 401ks, and pretty much like you say, um, you're not really a business owner if you just passing it to one generation. It needs to go two, third, second, third, and maybe fourth generation where the
Yep.
family will definitely benefit. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by and giving us these gems. And hey, I'm clapping it up for you. I appreciate it.
I know. I think it's like we need a part two. It's like
Right, right,
it's
right,
not enough
right, right,
time. It's not
right,
enough time. Let's
right. So I
that's all
definitely
right.
appreciate it. I look further to working with you, and now that I know that you've been knowing Erica for as long as I have, yeah, we definitely got to get together. We gotta build our sphere and our network. So I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
Well,
you, Kim.
you welcome. You welcome. I appreciate
it.
it.
Oh,
I have my mall back here from Argentina. So
okay. Y'all
All
special.
right. See,
Y'all special.
fancy.
Y'all got to teach me about this wine down Wednesday thing. Y'all good wine.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah.
Hey,
So
teach me. I'm I'm
thank
ready.
you again. Thank you
Hey,
again. Thanks everyone for listening.
all right. Thank you, everybody. I'm Ernest Cash, your Chicago area realtor, Erica Clark of Quad Pro Tax, and Miss Kimberly Thomas of Kimco International. We holler at you.